perspective. All right, so let's talk. This is not going to be for everyone, but I feel like even though it's not for everyone, a lot of us can identify with having gone through this particular lesson. And we are talking about a lesson. And you know what? You know as well as I, you guys, if we're talking about a lesson, we're talking about blessings just the same. Okay. So take the lesson if this is you. It's not everybody, I get that. If this is you, take the lesson for what it is, a blessing. And a blessing it is. I do see better opportunity up ahead, but let me not let the proverbial cat out of the bag just yet. Okay, there could be some significance to cats, dogs, unicorns, right? They might be of some sort of iconic significance if you don't actually possess any of those. And if you possess a unicorn, can I come visit? I'll bring treats. All right, how's that? Um, but much love and light, you guys. But let me know, okay? No, let me stop. Love and light, Cassandra. Oh my goodness. So we are talking, the lesson and things. And we're talking work. All right. Eight of Pentacles really kind of is the essence of something you are a part of as some form of, project at least. Okay. But for many of us here, this is talking about some form of employment where you got that W-2 thing going on and stuff. Okay. Or not, right? Could be under the table. I shouldn't have made that assumption, but I digress. Okay. Um, Here's the sitch. This kind of feels like dualistic right now because it's still a general collective, right? Some of you have already lost the job, but I also heavily got this through the channeling whilst pulling the cards before coming on for you guys. That there are a few people here that have like been getting, I don't know if you call it like a premonition, some sort of intuitive hit that like this isn't gonna last. Like, and maybe you just got there, you know what I mean? Like I'm not getting that this is like a, a career situation of 25 years. However, since I'm talking about it, it could include that. But for these people here connected to the collective that are going to resonate with this particular one, there's like this moon energy. Okay, it could be some significance to the moon goddess, but really it's just talking about something that has yet to come to light that's currently hidden, but that you're picking up on like the magical unicorn you are. Makes sense. Okay, whether you got a cat or dog as a furry familiar or not. Okay, and there is some significance to a lot of canine energy, to be clear. All right. um it's almost like this something wicked this way comes kind of feeling. Love like King Boss. um it's like you don't really necessarily have hard evidence, but something keeps like tugging on you to say, like, you sure there's stability here? You sure this is lasting kind of thing? Like, you sure you shouldn't plan ahead? All right. And of course, for some, you've already lost the job and now you're in the land of what ifs, what now, right? There could be some significance to the artist Rihanna, because I do hear coming through the channeling that song, What Now? And gosh, your girl has resonated with that song a few moon cycles back. It was a very tumultuous time. I was, definitely going through my own versions, multiple, of said tower energy. All right, this is the one that we've pulled from the traditional art tarot. This is a particular special deck. If I do say so myself, 78 artists went into this deck to create the 78 cards that you will see a few of today. Okay. So you might notice that the illustrations are quite different from one card to the next, and that's why. And I think that's pretty cool. I love to see variety. I love to see collaboration, and maybe this is some sort of synchronistic aspect to what you are leaving out of and or entering into, just the same, but in a much better way, in a much better state, where you're much more appreciated and you're a better fit, to be honest. Okay. Now, I do see that for many of you here, there are choices, multiple, plural, right? They're not known to you yet, though, so it's kind of, um, a tug of war, perhaps, at trying not to worry, trying not to hold your breath to wait for things to change. And that too is part of the lesson. Isn't that interesting how the divine would use such a thing like, our finances and stability to get our attention to teach us lessons, which are also blessings? Because on the other side of learning the lessons, you didn't die and you're like better off for it, right? Right. Okay. We've all been there. No judgment, you guys, only love and light, right? But there's choices up ahead with the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. All right. It's really going to ultimately overcast any kind of Five of Wands, fuckery, kind of conflict, kind of woulda, shoulda, coulda, what now kind of energy, right? And on to lighter and brighter days. Some might say calmer waters. Okay. This is really a card of victory here with the Six of Wands. And it's interesting because although there's another unicorn, which, my Piscean energy wants to get all like distracted about, there is some sort of like still needing form of healing. Like, how happy is the uni right now? Like I feel like this someone who's pretending to be what you are seems a little bit in lighter, brighter energies than what you're really kind of ferreting through. And you have to be honest about the energies, the emotions, you guys, because that's what's going to pull you out of that very same energy and those very same emotions all the more faster. Gone are the days where you should be thinking that it's cool or necessary to ignore any parts of yourself, and inclusive of whatever you got going on in that emotional space of yours, right? There is clarity coming to you, all right, on the other side of maybe ferreting through what these choices mean for you. It's like, okay, well, fast forward to the part where, you've got the offers coming in, perhaps, right? Even then, you don't want to hastily just latch on to the next experience, dare I say lesson, right? Because there's some significance about these choices being available to you, yes, but not always and in all ways the most highest vibrational or the best fit for you. Okay. And maybe there is some lesson about that type of decision making that is leading to this lesson in current energies for you, whether you've already lost a job or you've been thinking like, something's just, this can't, this train can't continue on this track kind of thing, right? So it's interesting you're referencing the future and I'm referencing current energies. We're not even on the same timeline. You can click off and save yourself. Go worship Jesus. He's waiting. I am saved by grace. Much love and light. So with the Sun card, there is some wisdom attached. Okay, we did reference the clarity. Okay, maybe there is a different type of focus that you need to kind of take a stance on going forward, right? So that you can actually produce the highest value. And I'm not even really talking simply and solely financially, you guys, but the highest value type of harvest here. Okay. When you're talking 10 of Pentacles, right? You want those pentacles to not be um less than desirable. You don't want your 10 of Pentacles experience to be mid, right? It's like, yeah, you could get another job, you could sign on, you could make money. Is it the best fit? Do you feel the healthiest mentally and physically while doing that? Is it good money? Because not all money is good money, right? Just like spending time, even, right? You can spend time or you can waste it just the same. And you can do both of those things over money. So it's really good to just kind of brush up on what you actually want to experience out of things like employment, out of even things like finances. What are you here to do? What do you want to do? What has your higher power expressed to you that you are part of in doing with your finances, with your time? How are you viewing yourself as worthy? Because here's the stitch, you guys, other choices are going to come to you, but if you're thinking, oh, that one just seems too good to be true for me, because really that would just be perfect and it would just change my life for the better and I just would be so grateful. But no, that just doesn't seem like that pans out, because when I look back to my history of histories, it's all crap there. It's like, okay, so maybe the lesson here for somebody resonating with that is to stop that negative stinking thinking, whether your name's Nelly or Nelson or not. All right. You can't be negative first and or all the time. Now, we do need dark and light, positive and negative, to bring in a form of balance. And maybe that for some here is, something that needs to take a look at when you're, again, making decisions, so that you're not on the other side of any decision making back into any form of conflict, or at least not for the same exact reasoning, and such, to the point where you've learned the lesson, which in and of itself is a blessing, because on the other side of really actioning towards some betterment, referable to the way that you make decisions, referable to the way that you view yourself worthy as well as your time. All right. A lot of people do subscribe to time is money, right? But how are you spending it? Is it the highest vibrational way? Is it the way that you can help yourself and others, right? Or is there some strings to it? And maybe there are some ways that you can research how the benefit would actually check out or not. And that should be taken a look at and action towards. Okay. Some of you, you're concerned about your home, your dwelling space being affected. All right. Really, the divine want you to know that this is simply and solely a lesson. All right. Long story short, you are protected. If you should have to relocate, you're protected in the relocation confirmation. All right. But for the most part, I'm getting that even in that 11th hour, that's not the case. All right. The Nine of Cups could actually be something that comes in the 11th hour, because there's a lot of darkness attached to this card. Many of you are old souls, and so of course the lessons would be not lessons for those spiritually wet behind the ears. And I feel like the veil, though it's thinning, can still be some energy that really muddies the waters in is as far as the clarity of just that, the clarity of your own protection, the clarity of you not being compromised in spite of having faith and having experiences that you're not going to ultimately be severed from the sovereignty that you are, as well as the sovereignty that backs you, inclusive of those divine forces that we talk about often, whether you call them Holy Spirit, God, Goddess, the higher self, the universe, or not. Okay. You understand what we're talking about here, and these pentacles are definitely coming your way. All right. You've got the 9 and the 10 we've already talked about, as well as the 9 of Cups. All right. And some of you on the next leg, the next chapter, the next job, are going to meet some really family like, starseed cosmo family type of individuals, your people, you might say. So this is giving a win-win, right? This is a scenario where if you knew everything that was up ahead, and you're not here to know everything, to be clear, right? But looking back, ultimately you will be able to say, gosh, that was a deliverance. You lost something. You have to lose in certain aspects to be delivered. you know could you imagine if somebody had the idea that they should find a way to carry on their back every single thing that they found inside of each and every one of their rooms of their dwelling space, their home, their apartment, and carry it on their back in the middle of a fire blazing through all aspects of the atmosphere. It's not logical to think that, right? It is logical to understand there should be loss there. And here too, you're being delivered. It's not a punishment. It's a revamping, a rerouting, a change in the trajectory, and for your good and for your favor. And you are favored at this. And there will be at least one really great option. I'm getting for many of us here, though, it's giving just know exactly what you want, so that when you cross reference and check it, okay, understanding your worth and adding that tax, that you're not really going for the lesser than choices. And this too will be a test or a lesson. Okay. But as far as there, for the majority of us only being that one choice, that's not necessarily the case. You will have to really kind of check in with self, check in with the divinity that backs you, ask your guides, ask your angels for assistance at this. All right. And if you're feeling like already anxious, like, oh my gosh, I'm probably going to mess that up, work on that. Okay. And what I mean again is ask for help from the divine forces that back you. Ask your angels. Listen, I know I'm, grappling with a form of anxiety about this, and I also understand now that that's something that could actually be detrimental to me getting to these lighter, brighter days, getting to that ultimate job, ultimate relocation that is for my favor. Please help, okay? They're there to help. It's okay if you can't see them, you don't know their name, perchance, right? But it's not okay if you don't ask for their help, because then what happens is you've got, a lot of winged creatures, if you will, your angels, archangels, just standing idly by, ready to assist you, however, but you're not asking, you know? And so that could be a bit detrimental. I mean, you've got free will to ask or not to ask. I'm not here doing anything other than suggesting that you commune with the divine forces that love you and ultimately the creator, all right, that has created you. Makes sense? But with this King of Wands, you're going to get your passion back. You're going to get your footing back. And the King of Swords. I mean, the Wands and the Swords talk about passion and intellect, education. There's that lesson energy, right? And the passion, the confidence coming back because you understand your worth in spite of anyone else who maybe didn't. Maybe they should not have seen your worth. Maybe that worth was hidden because the divine's asking you to close out a cycle. And maybe you did just start that cycle, but that too shall pass. You guys, could you imagine if every year we got vexed in our spirits against divine forces, saying, why in the bleepity bleep does spring have to end? You know, doesn't make sense. It's making more sense just to go with the flow. If you are being guided into and or out of a cycle, a season, a lesson, a blessing, experience, so be it, because you are here to learn and grow your soul. All right. And for those still trying to worry about pentacles, they have your name stamped on them already. Just please and thank you, believe, to allow it to come in. In the meantime, I do see that many of you should take a look at what all you can detox. All right. What I mean by that is not simply and solely substances, okay, but that could be inclusive of that. And that's up for you to know and, speak upon with your guides, etc., right? But in the sense of again, letting go what doesn't serve you about the experience. It's like, okay, I know that happened. I know that the termination is final, blah blah blah. And so what of it? Well, what of it is you shouldn't be regressing into that same energy, that residual energy, if you will, about the day it happened, how you felt, what you were wearing, the way that the person leaned in over the desk, the way that you were yelled at to the point where your hat flew off, just whatever and whatever, right? Because that is you holding on to an energy and aspects of an experience, or dare I say a lesson, that's not really conducive towards your progressive advancement towards a future. Instead, you're just kind of spiraling about and some sort of stagnant energy, and we can't have that. All right. If you are struggling with courage about this, courage to receive that this is actually a blessing coming towards you, all right, again, ask for help, but please allow this message, if you're here, okay, to be the confirmation that you are still very much on the path, still very much protected and loved by God, all right, by the universe, okay, however you subscribe here. And you're being requested to remain diligent in your faith, in your hope at this, and understanding again that you are, though it may seem rocky, though it may not have a bunch of sunshine going on, very much protected while you pass through, going with this flow and going through this experience. All right, confirmation. And you do have choices. You do have a choice in the matter. You've got free will. And so free will goes, what you will, you will. And what you no longer will, you no longer will. Pretty simple, but yet we do talk about it a lot because it's something that you have to perhaps remember, recall, and reintegrate. All right. And you're being asked to, wherever it makes sense, to plan ahead. Okay. You've got so much in the bank, you've got access to a certain amount of credit limit. Make sense of it as you will, as you must, perhaps, right? But also understanding that there is this breakthrough energy up ahead. You've got some form of pleasure experience and some sort of portal energy open unto you, okay? And this feels like a personal note, not necessarily something simply astrological, to be clear. So don't go check for when's the next eclipse and when's, you know, um, Mercury ending retrograde and this, that, and the third, okay? For those that really can relate with this resistance energy, I need you to know it's because, interestingly enough, you are in alignment. However, how would you have some form of coursework? Okay, many of us understand Earth to be some form of Earth school, right? Learning and growing our souls, etc. Right? How would you go through any kind of program or class or coursework that requires you to be diligent in spite of, you know, uh, perhaps you might say the world being against you, or corporate America, or fill in the blank, right? And on the back end, know that the whole time that you were in alignment without the resistance. See how you need dark and light, right? See how you need that to bring into a balance, even into alignment type of energy. Okay, so yes, it gets fun again. It doesn't stay dark for you. If you're doing your due diligence, yes, you do rise back on up. Okay. Again, even if you feel like I didn't rise yet, you're still very much in alignment. There's no problem here unless you are creating them because of past experiences, past events connected to this job loss, this situation, this path. And that's why we advise against doing those type of things. Okay, makes sense. Balance, all right, is needed. That's all. No problem beyond that. All right. And this too shall pass. You already have the tools. You already have the divine assistance. The breakthrough energy is on its way. You've just got to continue and allow for this new beginning to come in with opportunities. You are not, I want to say, DOA at this, right? This is not a projection onto you because of some form of punishment or hatred by God, Goddess, divine forces, the universe. All right, however you subscribe here. And you are being asked in the meantime to do whatever makes you feel good. All right, so we've got detox. You could detox from even just trying to try. How about that, right? And not in the sense of giving up, in the sense of surrendering and going with the flow. It's like, okay, I've received this message as confirmation. I am in alignment. This resonates with me. I do choose again to have faith about myself, as well as fill myself with hope. Okay, about this, because of the confirmation, the tangible evidence of what all you know you've been praying about, what all you know you've been manifesting, and you are requested to continue on, because what you do in those type of energies, not really the worry wart type of stuff, but in those type of energies where you are putting your best foot forward confidently, as confident as you can, while asking for help to remain confident in your capabilities and abilities and your protection and your support at this. Okay, do whatever allows you to be grounded. All right, so going back to that detox energy, if it is in fact substances and it is not allowing for you to become or remain grounded, it's got to go. Okay, you don't get very far without sacrifice, I'll give you that. All right, so whatever and what all ever, on a personal note, you don't have to out yourself. There's no judgment here, only love and light. I promise. I wouldn't want the karma, but do the work. Okay, even if it's baby step after baby step, go right on ahead. All right, divine is waiting. Okay. And the other caveat here, collective, those resonating with this, do not look back. If you want this new beginning, if you want to connect with more of your people, all right, your cosmic family, the star seeds, all right, who are also very much in alignment, then you don't want to turn back. This is giving, lot turning around and basically, uh, you know, Salt Bay happen kind of thing, right? You don't want Salt Bay in this particular instance. You don't want to look back. It's not going to serve you. If anything, it could re-trap you again in some of that residual energy, some of the what ifs, woulda, coulda, shoulda. This was wrong. This shouldn't have happened, even if those things are quote unquote wrong and shouldn't have happened, right? You've got to remember the lesson here. You've got to remember the deliverance. You've got to remember your part to play, going with the flow and honoring the very divine forces that are making change, even if behind the scenes in current energies for you. Okay, because otherwise you're fighting against the whole operation. And then if you don't have that new beginning, you don't have nobody around you who really rocks with you, could even understand you, that's kind of on you. All right, and don't be that one, you guys. You've got too many evidences of new beginnings, all right, coming through these cards. I mean, you could be seeing 999 as an angelic code of some significance. All right, doesn't have to be the case, but I'm seeing nines, and I'm seeing things like 36 that reduce to beautiful nines. And you guys, Nines, when you see them, they're talking about abundance. They're talking about that new beginning. They're talking about, that deliverance, a rerouting. All right. And all for the betterment, not to your detriment, to be clear. Okay. Love and light, Maria Grace. Um, so honor that inner light. Okay. You connecting with, um, the divinity within you is going to allow for you to focus on the divine forces backing you. Makes sense that it's giving win-win energy on the other side of that refocus. Because otherwise, what do you focus on? Well, probably that residual energy, the way that so and so leaned on the table, the way that the coffee spilled as the word came out of so and so's face about the termination, the way that somebody threw their apron at you, and just whatever, right? We don't need to live there. Okay, you've already lived through the experience and the lesson and ultimately the blessing. And the more that you kind of go with the flow, understanding what sacrifices may need to be made, whether it's time, whether it's the way that you utilize some of the provisions in your now. All right. um make sense of it as you will, but keep going. And also keep appreciating yourself. I get it. A lot of us, we don't um, tend to be much more than truth tellers. All right. We don't tend to be much more than simply our authentic selves. And a lot of people do give us a lot of resistance about that very nature, because they can't keep up, because they can't bear the thought of facing themselves to be at that level of authenticity, etc., etc., etc. Right? This could even also connect to your certain skill set. You are so intuitively guided that you know how to do things way outside of the box and make a lot more money and do things faster. And as much as that should give you the gold star for every day you show up to work or every night, it's not always the case. Jealousy, hatred are something that chosen ones do often deal with and have to ferret through, because it does actually allow for them to produce the heightened awareness of the strength that already resides in them. So really, when you look at it, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you, babe. Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Yeah, this 10 energy, endings, new beginnings. All right, this card talking about it has always been within. Everything you need is already inside of you, as it always has been. It's so interesting. The very essence, nature, aura, you might say, that you're blessed with is some of the most triggering shit to a lot of people, and they just cannot stay. It's like you show up, you're freaking glowing, and the rest of them and their demons are like squirming for the rest of the 8 hours of the shift. They can't deal, right? So you got to know too, it's not really always about you. It's not even always about your personality. It might be about your very essence, your presence, and the presence that of divine forces that literally are rocking with you right there in every moment of every hour of your shift. Okay, and this is also part of a spiritual awakening for you. Makes sense. All right. Even with that 35 reducing down, it's talking about you're right in alignment. You are in direct line of divine's will for you, whether it seems like that or not, whether you can get somebody else outside of this confirmatory message to tell you just that or not. And that's why I say, you guys, listen, study to show yourself approved. You got to get your own messages, your own downloads, your own codes for you as well. And I encourage you to do that often, because it's very important. That way, on the other side of you doing that work, you get these messages, you go, aha, yeah, this is triple confirmation. Don't you love to have triple confirmation? I mean, double's great, right? But I mean, you could be getting triple confirmation or more on the other side of doing that work. And I'd love to have you report that you, in fact, did get that. All right. I want that for you guys. Please know you do have choices. They made cards about it on the other side of mediums channeling messages about just that. So, for anyone looking for a third confirmation, ta-da! All right. And you guys know, many of you just only need that 1 5, that one angelic code of 5 to be talking about life changing transformation. All right. This is happening for you. Allow it. Okay. And in the meantime, nurture yourself, give yourself grace, allow yourself to be grounded, retrain some of that aspects of your brain regarding, negative to positive thoughts first. All right. Because you don't have to even necessarily go negative, but you should at least be baby stepping towards going positive first before you want to play any type of devil's advocate, okay? But plan ahead, but no, growth is on all levels a priority if you're here, and you are. All right. So take the time to nurture your soul and allow for this positivity to be an air, an essence that you ruminate in while you gain some of this wisdom. Commune with your spiritual guidance team, of course, inclusive of source, God, the universe. All right. But long story short, babe, this is not a punishment, this is a lesson. And guess what? Often when you're going through a lesson, you're teaching others just the same. How many people have counted you out? Oh, I got them now. Jimmy's blacklisted. He's never going to work a day again in the city. Next thing you know, Jimmy's on every public television network sharing Jimmy's story and experience. Congrats, Jimmy, if that's you. All right. Just saying. All right. So do not allow for any kind of ill feelings to stay stuck with you as well as this experience, regardless of how you were burned, how you were, blacklisted, how you were mistreated. Okay, because you came to learn and grow your soul while helping others do just the same. And so those karmics out there, they will be taught lessons, whether you see that or not. Okay, it just is. All right. And so, just like you can take solace in that fact, you can take solace in the fact that you are very much in alignment in spite of any job loss, in spite of any, intuitive hits of thinking, I probably should jump ship here. Okay. Plan ahead. All right. And get with your spiritual guides and, detox accordingly so that you remain on top. Okay. Because as far as divine's eyes to you, you are on top and will forever remain on top, because where you may fall short, they're already in assistance of you. All right. Here's the sitch though. The more you ask, the more you get a lot more concrete evidence of just that. Okay. So please don't be that one that's got all these legions of angels around them and you're not asking for help. Okay. Because guess what? One angel can help you way more than a crowd, a group, an organization of any individuals that you may find roaming the earth. Just saying, to be clear. All right. So I hope that helps somebody. I'm going to ring the bell right now, you guys, for the freebies. Please make yourself familiar with the live stream rules as to how to get your free tarot message today from your girl. They are listed in the description box below. Got to scroll down to the end there, but I promise they're there. And hopefully, that resonated for someone and really just empowered you nonetheless. Okay. I don't want you ruminating over any kind of residual energy anymore. It's not, there's no peace there and there's no growth there. And so there's no potential there. And so you have no business being there. All right. Let's see here, Maria Grace. It's a yes. All right. This person is currently guided to come in with an offer or come back with an offer, or they want to spin the block because they realize what they have in you. All right. You're very welcome. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad that that reading resonated for you, babe. Thanks for letting me know. I really appreciate when you guys let me know that. Um, and thank you for being here. Really appreciate you hopping on, something out of it. All right. Okay, so if I don't see anyone else with any other questions for me, no worries. I will continue to have a wonderful day. Wishing you all the same. Much love and light, collective. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for hitting the subscription, hitting the like when you came on the video. And thanks for telling others that maybe need to hear some of these messages as well about the channel. Definitely looking to grow the channel so more beautiful souls like yourselves get these messages. All right. Much love and light. Mwah!